A very good afternoon, class. So, as you all know, we are continuing with our Maths 2 lesson number 7, assignment and sequencing. We have already started and seen sums based on Hungarian method and minimization problems. We were focusing on maximization problems, and last week we have finished sums based on balanced maximization problems and unbalanced maximization problems. Now today class, our focus will be on the sums when the number of lines is not equal to the number of rows and columns, which we have already studied in minimization as well. And the fourth type is alternate solution. Also, you can get sums on restricted maximization problems, that is in case of a dash. That means the cost of assigning the jobs over there is particularly very high. So you'll remember class, we used to put the sign of infinity in that particular dash. There are no such problems given in your textbook, but if it comes, the procedure will be the same as I have taught you all for minimization. And in case of maximization class, you remember the first step is always to convert the maximum matrix into a minimized one. So let us start with the sums class one by one. So as usual, when I told you all before you start with the sum, you should always do some basic check before doing the sum. The first basic check will be to check whether the rows and columns are equal. If not, how will you make it a balanced problem class? By adding a dummy row or a dummy column. And second, always check what is your objective function. If it is minimization, you can directly start with row minimization and column minimization. But as far as maximization problems are concerned, first you have to convert that maximization problem into a minimized one and then start with the sum. So here comes the first example of category 2, when the number of lines are not equal to the rows and columns, and the problem is of maximization. 5 different machines can do any of the 5 required jobs with different profits resulting from each assignment as shown below. So you can see there are 5 particular machines and there are 5 particular jobs to be assigned. Find out the maximum profit possible through it. So they have asked you to find out the maximum profit. So before we start with the sum class, the first two things are the basic checks. In this case, the rows and columns are equal. So this is a balanced problem. Also, the sum is of maximization. So the first step will be to convert the maximized matrix into a minimized one. Do you remember class how to convert this? Correct. Identify the biggest number in the entire matrix. In this case, it is 62. Subtract all the numbers from 62 and you will get a matrix like this. So after subtracting all the numbers from 62, this will be the matrix which you'll get. After minimized matrix, you can continue the Hungarian method, that is converting in row minimization. And I hope class you remember how to convert it in row minimization. In each row, identify the minimum number and underline it like this. And then subtract the minimum numbers from the respective rows. That is 22 in this case will be subtracted from 32, 25 and 34. Similarly, the second row 22 will be subtracted from 38, 35, 41 and 26. Similarly, you can do for third row, fourth row and fifth row as well. So this is your next step, converting in row minimization. And after subtraction, this is what the matrix will look like. After row minimization, the next step is to identify and convert it into column minimization. So from each column, you will be identifying the minimum number and underlining it as above. So in rows P, Q, R and T, you will find the minimum numbers are 0. But in column number S, you will see the minimum number is 4. So be careful when you all are focusing class on the minimum number. After subtracting, you will get a matrix like this. So as you all saw, the column S has been converted and changed in comparison to the row minimization. The rest of the columns are same because any number subtracted from 0 or 0 subtracted from any number gives you the same number. Okay, so any number, if you are subtracting 0 from it, you're getting the same number. So 10 minus 0, you got 10, 0 minus 0 is 0, 15 minus 0, you got 15, and 33 minus 0 is 0, and so on. So the next step is drawing the required lines. But for that, check class, in each row and each column, you should have at least 1 0. So the condition is satisfying. So I'm moving forward, drawing the required lines. So how to draw the lines? Starting with rows first. So tell me class, which row has got the maximum zeros? Yes, you are correct. There is a tie between first row and fourth row. So I'll draw my first two lines on first row and fourth row like this. After the rows are over, I can see the maximum zeros in column P. So my third line will be drawn on column P. Then I can see a single 0 in row 5. So I'll draw a line like this. What is your observation, class? Since the number of lines are not equal to the rows and columns, we get 3 elements. Remember, class, this particular thing we have already done in minimization problems as well. So those 3 elements are open, close, and intersecting. Now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of these 8 numbers which are visible to you, the minimum number is 4. So the numbers which you can see clearly, those numbers are called as the open elements. Then on those numbers which I have drawn the line, they are close elements. And the lines where they are intersecting, such numbers are called as the intersecting elements. So what has to be done is 4 has to be subtracted from all the open elements and 4 has to be added on all the intersecting elements. So I have underlined for you all so that you can understand where 4 has to be added and subtracted. So accordingly, we'll get the new matrix like this. 10 plus 4 gives you a 14, 15 plus 4 gives you a 19, 33 plus 4 gives you 37. 16, 13, 15, 4 is subtracted. So you can see 12, 9, 11, they are converted to 8, 7, 6, 5. After subtraction have become 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest all the numbers are the same. So now you can draw the required lines. Again, before drawing the lines, class, always check in each row and each column, at least you should have one particular 0. So tell me, class, in which particular row you will start drawing the lines first? Correct. There's a tie again in the first row, in the second row, and in the third row. Each row has got 2 zeros each. After that, I can see 1 0 each in column P and column Q, respectively. Now, what is your observation, class? The number of lines are equal to the number of columns. So, you can allocate the jobs as below. What was the rule for allocation, class? You have to assign one box for 1 0. Starting with the rows first. So in the first row, I can see there are 2 zeros. So I will not do any assignment for the time being. In the second also, you can see 2 zeros. So leave it. Don't do any assignment. In the third row, I can see only a single 0. So I will put one box in that particular 0 first. When you're going row-wise, class, I told you all in that particular column, whichever 0 is there, you will cancel it out. Coming to the fourth row, there are 2 zeros again. So I will leave it for the time being. Coming to the fifth row, I've got again a single 0. And in that column, I don't have any 0 to be cancelled. Now all the rows are finished. We can check column wise now. So in column P and Q, already the jobs are assigned. In column R, there are 2 zeros. So leave it. In column S, you can see 1 0. So put it in a box. When you're going column wise, the zeros which you can see in the particular rows will get cancelled. So I'll cancel this particular 0. In the last column again, you can see 2 zeros. So leave it. Now one time rows are over, one time columns are over, again you will start row wise. Now in the first column you have again 2 zeros, leave it. In the second column, because the 0 is cancelled, I have left with only 1 0. So I will assign job to this particular 0. So the column 0 of that particular column will get cancelled like this. So I'm left with 1 0 in the first row. So I've assigned job like this. So I hope the logic has been clear how to allocate the job class. You could have chosen the other way around as well, but already one job is assigned here, so you cannot pick this 0 for assigning the job. So class, with this we are coming to the end of this sum. So you can prepare the assignment table like this. Jobs and machines assigned. Which jobs are being assigned to which machine. This was your main question. This is what you got as an answer. So now time to find out the final answer, that is total maximum profit. So on comparing the zeros, in this place I have 40. In this 0 I have 36. At P I have 40. At column Q I have 62. And at column R I have 40. At column S I've got 36. So the total maximum profit will be 40 plus 36 plus 40 plus 36 plus 62, which gives me 240. So understood class how to solve when the number of lines are not equal to number of rows and columns. Moving on to the next sum, which you have to complete it as an assignment. Here is the question. You have to read the question and find out which manager should be assigned at which city so as to get maximum total monthly business. So I want you all to practice this sum class, and if any doubt, please let me know. So moving on to the next category of the sum, alternate solution and maximization. So we saw when number of lines are not equal to number of rows and columns, how to solve the sum. Now we'll see when there is an alternate solution existing in your sum, how to do it. But in this case, it is of maximization. So nothing much has changed. The process is the same as you do in minimization problems. But the only thing is, for maximization, the very first step changes. So that you have to keep in mind when you read the question. This is a question from your textbook. And again, you have to find out the assignment of salesmen to towns that will result in maximum sale. So before we start with the sum class, what were the two basic checking that you had to do? Number one, your rows should equal columns. And second, identify your objective function. So in this case class, this is a balanced problem. And my objective function here is to maximize the profit. So my first step basically will be to convert it into a minimized matrix. And how should I do that? By identifying the maximum number in the matrix. In this case, it is 46. And you have 246 over here. So after subtraction, you will get a matrix like this. All right. Moving on to the next step, that is row minimization. So you will identify the minimum number from each rows and underline like this. After that, you will go to the second step, row minimization. After subtraction, you will get a matrix like this. Again, the next step, you will convert it in column minimization by identifying minimum numbers from every column like this. So as you can see class, in column number 2 and column number 4, the minimum number is 2 and the minimum number is 5. 1, 3 and 5, the minimum numbers are zeros. So after subtraction, you will get a matrix like this. So you have to be very careful when you're subtracting from rows and columns. Next step is drawing the lines. Before that, check class, in each row and each column, at least you have 1 0. Then only you can move forward with the drawing of the lines. So the next step is I'm drawing the required lines. Now, can you all tell me, class, where will you all start drawing the lines with? Correct. Row 1 has got the maximum number of zeros. So our first line will be drawn on first row. After that, I can see zeros in the first column, 2 zeros, and 2 zeros each in the rows as well. So you can cover those also, and then like this. Now what is your observation, class? The number of lines are not equal to the number of rows and columns. So you're getting 3 elements, that is open, close and intersecting. In this, again, 4 is the minimum number. So you're subtracting 4 from all the open elements, and you will add 4 on all the intersecting elements, that is 8, 19 and 11. So you will get a matrix like this. On 8, 19 and 11, I've added 4. And from 14, 12, 14, 12, 8, 6, I've subtracted the matrix 4. So now again, you can draw the required lines. Before that, check, class, in each row and each column, you should have at least 1 0 before you start drawing the lines. Now tell me, class, on which rows you will draw the lines first? On the first row, because it has got maximum zeros. Then you have first column and the last column consisting of 2 zeros each. Then you have S4 and then you have S5, again having 2 zeros each. Now what is your observation, class? As the number of lines are equal to the number of rows and columns, you can allocate the jobs as below. Now tell me, class, how will you start the allocation? How many zeros are there in first row? 3. So leave it for the time being. In the second row, 2. Third row, 2. Fourth row, 2. Fifth row, again 2. So class, in row wise, I don't have a single zero which is existing. So I will not allocate any job row wise. Starting with column minimization, then we'll check column wise. The first column has 2 zeros, so I will not assign any job. The second column has got only a single zero. So I will first assign the 0 in that particular column. So when you are assigning column wise, all the zeros of that particular row will be cancelled like this. Again, moving on to the third column, T3, you have got 2 zeros. T4, 2 zeros. T5, 2 zeros. So I will not assign any particular job column wise anymore. Again, I'll check row wise. So in the first row, I've already got 1 0. In the second, I have 2. Third, I have 2. Fourth, I have 2. Fifth also, I have got 2. Now class, in row wise, you have got options. In column wise also, you have got options. So when you are left with choices, that is, you can assign more than one particular job between 2 persons. That particular solution is called as an alternate solution. So class, pay attention now how I am assigning, and in this case there exists an alternate solution. So what if I start assigning from second row, S2. Say I give a box over here. So all the zeros of that particular column will get cancelled. As well as in that row, again, I'll cancel all the zeros. In S3, because of this cancellation, I'm left with 1 0. So I can assign that particular 0, and in that column, as you see, all the zeros are cancelled. In S4, again, I've got a choice. So I can select any one box and simultaneously can cancel the 0 of that particular column and that particular row. And then I'm left with the last box. So I hope this is the first possibility. As I told you, class, you had a choice. So some students may not choose what I chose. The solution they may choose will depend and look like this. So our first assignment was in the column T2, because of which the zeros were cancelled. Now we had option in second, third, fourth and fifth row, as well as in first, third, fourth and fifth column. So what if the students didn't pick S2T1? Instead, they went for S2T5. So the zeros in that particular row and column will get cancelled like this. Because of the cancellation of this zero, you got an assignment in S3. What if they chose S4T4? So that leads to cutting off zeros like this. And they are left with S5 and cutting off the zero like this. So understood class, in this way, both the solution, whichever you choose, are correct. So here you have more than one possibility of assigning the jobs. So this can be the first possibility on the left hand side, and this can be your second possibility on the right hand side. So checking first possibility, what can be the maximum number of sales if I go with the first option? That was this. So on comparing the boxes, I had 43, 45, 42, 46 and 40. So the total maximum sales will be 216 in thousands. Or if I go to the second possibility, which is the alternate solution, on comparing, I get 43, 41, 46, 41, 45. If I add, I get the same number, that is rupees 216 in thousands. So that is why this particular solution is called as an alternate solution. So I hope class, you are clear with the problems related to minimization and maximization. So with this class, our first exercise, that is 7.1, gets completed over here. From tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting with sequencing. Till then, keep practicing, keep learning, and if any doubt in any particular type of problem, do let me know. Is that clear, class? So we stop here for today, and thank you so much for listening to me.